What's going on, Disney fans? It's Disney Dan here, bringing you. You ready for it, Kevin?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Dan
and Kevin in the morning.
Nights.
We love Community.
Did not work.
Yes. I love the television show Community.
I don't know what just happened.
So welcome to Dan and Kevin in the Mornings Nights. Episode 2. You might have been around for episode 1, and it's one of those secret Theme Park Tube exclusive podcasts you can only find on Theme Park Tube. So if you want to listen to episode 1, you have to go find it because it's not out there publicly.
Is this like Baywatch Nights? I know it's not a Disney reference, but is this going to be like Baywatch?
Did Baywatch have a Baywatch Nights?
Yes. You know about Baywatch Nights? It was literally
was Hasselhoff in it?
I think he made like brief cameos in it, but it was basically Baywatch and meets the X-Files. Like,
what?
Yes, this is a real thing. It was like
detective.
It was like
Wait a minute.
It was like supernatural detectives.
like the Loch Ness Monster and stuff?
That kind of stuff, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I prefer Thunder in Paradise.
Oh my god.
With Hulk Hogan?
Ridiculous.
Yes. Anyway.
Okay, so anyway, welcome everybody. If you don't know what's going on, it's Disney Dan here with Kevin from Defunctland and our dear friend Nate Begle, who
most certainly doesn't know what's going on at all.
And listen, this is a rare opportunity that we have because, like, this is like one of those, like, someone's been in a coma for 15 months and they wake up and they're like, what year is it? What's happening? And everyone's
and just like
pickles.
that,
it's 2543 and spiders are president, and like, you know, and just really terrify them.
Dan Harmon references.
Yeah, I am that Robin Williams meme from Jumanji.
Yeah. So, listen, Nate, our dear friend Nathan, has been on a Disney cruise for 7 days. All right.
Yeah.
He just got off the boat.
Literally got off the boat this afternoon.
What has been going on?
No. I've been off the grid.
Kevin, tease us with give us like a brief synopsis before we go into the full story.
Okay, so, well, Nate, first off, hi. How was your Disney cruise?
Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. Honestly, it was wonderful. I can't even talk up the Disney cruise enough, let alone the Christmas cruise. The holiday, it was pretty great.
Isn't it amazing what happens when you have a capacity to your experiences?
Yes, for sure. Honestly, though, like the Disney cruise line is literally everything that Disney is meant to be. Like they do literally everything right on the ship.
Yes,
that they should do everywhere.
Is it that good, guys? Is it that?
Yes,
good?
yes. Yeah. Us three should take a boys' trip.
Oh man, that would be.
We can't take a couples trip.
Anyways,
why can't we bring the ladies along and have we can all wear like Mickey and Minnie ears and stuff?
I'm sure all of our
matching monogram towels.
I'm sure all of our significant others would love us three together for the week on a cruise.
I just realized that I've had the camera locked at my dumb fat face this entire time. Sorry, guys. Our whole household has had like the flu, flu bronchitis or something. It's been awful. I've been like chugging Mucinex. It's been the worst, which is why you guys don't have a Evolution Maleficent video. So I'm super sick. But when Nate got off the boat, he's like, I'm like, what's going on, dude? He's like, hey, what's up? I love you. I miss you. Oh, by the way, Buzzy's gone. And Nate's like, who's Buzzy?
and then
well, you said Wonders of Life, and then I put it together who it was. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, Buzzy's been gone, dude. He's been gone for a long time.
But no.
Right. But Nate,
stop what you're doing. Don't Google anything. Don't look at anything. Just lock it down. Tonight, Kevin and I are going to call you and we're going to talk to you about what happened because this is too.
Okay, so Nate, when you say Buzzy's gone, what do you know?
Well, Buzzy is the little dude from Cranium Command.
Yes.
And the Cranium Command is long since defunct and is boarded up and like when I say gone, like he's, you can't do that attraction anymore. It's been boarded up and hidden.
Well, there's
behind.
another reason you can't do that attraction anymore, Nate, because he's gone. Okay, so
someone has
someone stole him.
Someone has apparently stolen.
Okay, Nate, come back because this is just the beginning.
Someone's taken the robot.
Okay, hold on. Let me just preface from what I know of this, and this is purely just what I've heard. So he's been like the last that I've heard of Buzzy, he's just been rotting away, like up in his little
he's gone. He's been
hydrolift chair and just like falling apart. And now he's somebody pinched him.
Yeah. Can I tell them the through line of the story, and Dan, you can interrupt me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have so many questions.
Okay.
Listen, you have to wait. Just listen to the whole story, and then we'll go into it.
Yeah. So here we go. And everyone in the comments, we are also skeptical about this, and we're going to put that in. So everyone that's like, oh my gosh, he's not actually gone. Well, we'll get there. Okay. So he has been, as you said, so the attraction closed in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's now 2018, 11 years later. Urban explorers are huge right now. And they are going everywhere throughout Wonders of Life, taking video, especially during Food and Wine.
Right, that I've seen, like people like kind of like just sneaking in there and taking videos and stuff.
Right, because they don't lock the doors, as we would later find out in a police report. Which that's not even foreshadowing. But like literally in the police report, it says something like, "Because there are plenty of access ways that are not locked." I was like, "What?" Anyways, so people are going in and out for a while, and so up until August. We've seen video. So video has been released within the last few months. I think it was like in November or maybe October, and so that video is now said to have been taken this summer before he got stolen. Anyways, spoiler alert: he has been stolen.
And they just found this out today?
No, okay, they found this out like the day you got on the cruise.
Saturday.
So okay. we've been swimming in this for a while.
By the way, I'm wearing my mystery suit. This is mystery stories. It's my mystery suit. It's got my classic goofy hat with a rubber nose and my Pixar Peer Premiere glasses. I'm ready for conspiracy theories.
Perfect.
So I'm going to refer to certain Twitter accounts that were the leaders in this breaking news / misinformation / possibly
who's paid for you and me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
These guys.
Dan, every time it's hard for me to tell the story. Every time you talk, the camera goes back to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Okay, so this is it's interesting. So I'm not going to refer. So I'm just going to say Twitter account A and Twitter account B. Okay, how about that?
The Twitter accounts have been changed to protect the innocent.
You might not tell, but Twitter account A, has been going in and out, has been taking pictures backstage for a while. Twitter account B has some sort of contact with Twitter account A. Twitter account A gets interrogated by Disney about a week ago for sneaking into places and for charges that are unrelated to us. The police report that has been released today has said something to the effect of the reason for his arrest was Twitter account A's arrest. Who it could be he or she, or I mean, there's no telling. Twitter account A's arrest was due to some sort of like resistance to interrogation or arrest or something like that. Anyways, so point being is he's been in and out, taking pictures, taking video backstage, and Disney's on his tail. So he gets his Twitter account A shut down, and so all communication from this person is now going through Twitter account B, who about a week ago broke the story, quote unquote, that says Buzzy, the animatronic from Wonders of Life, is missing. And then the internet goes crazy. We go crazy. Dan creates merch because he just can't help himself.
Guys, it was so fucking, it's so silly and stupid. It's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Please use appropriate language, Dan.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry about that.
I know this is Baywatch Nights, but we got to keep it PG.
I'm so worked up about this. It's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, continue.
So everyone's saying Buzzy's stolen, and we have no way of knowing for sure until the next day when, of course, cast members go back there, and so also the whole thing is like he's been stolen. The police know, they're looking, and then it's like he is gone. And so everyone's like, how the heck did this happen? Because that animatronic is confirmed to be at least 300 pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a small animatronic.
No, and it's on a chair.
Right.
So they had to get the chair down, and then they had to unbolt it. So the first report said it was slashed out of this metal chair, and the hydraulic fluid went everywhere in the theater. It left a huge mess. And these
carnage. It was.
They painted the wall with this robot blood.
I just picture some poor cast member engineer walking in and just falling to his knees.
What have they done? So also I should mention there's a little hypothalamus robot that is also missing, but no one cares about that guy.
Hypothalamus, right? Yeah, who cares? We don't even know his name.
Buzzy is missing, and so both of these, I should mention, also were marked to be preserved by the archives. They were marked as "Do Not Destroy" by Walt Disney Archives.
Do not destroy, but just let sit there and fall apart.
Yes.
Well, it was actually a recent tagging. We come later to find out.
Like, no, it was not.
Past few months.
It was not.
The past few months.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Like earlier this year, they were tagged for preservation.
It was in Matt's video, so you can go back and see when Matt's video was.
Oh, really? They were in Matt's video?
Yes.
Oh, wow. When was that shot? Like a few years ago, right?
I don't know. I think it was 2015, but I'd have to go back and look. I have no idea.
Wow,
it had to be because I used it in my body.
A while ago. Okay.
Yeah, I used it.
Really quick. So the Twitter story broke, and then cast members then went to check on this, and they were like, "Yeah, it's gone." So like other Twitter accounts were like, "Yep, he's not there anymore." Is that what happened?
Yeah, so that's the next day. Cast members go in there, they take pictures. The hydraulic lines have been cut. It is a surprisingly clean theater, and this is when everybody's stories start changing. So the story we thought it was the day of was a team of criminals broke in.
An organized team. The official story now is an organized team of 3 thieves with a wrench and a single ladder infiltrated wonders of
and
light.
The candlestick
through the back door, through the back access roadway with an unmarked vehicle, rolled in there, boosted this entire animatronic with a wrench and a ladder, and 3 dudes hauling this cumbersome heavy hunk of metal with its tiny little partner, the hypothalamus, which is this little, Johnny Five looking guy who pops up. He's like, "Oh, no one remembers me. I just, blink the eyes, take a breath, hypothalamus. What was me? No one thinks of me. Oh. And he shrinks back down, right? They steal him too. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Oh, and the best part is, and everyone's like, and Disney knows that like they have a buyer. There's a buyer lined up for this thing, and Disney.
Dan, this isn't commenting. You're just telling the story out of order now.
Jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead, Dan.
Okay, so the first day, everyone essentially believes the story that is. What is going on with my mic? Okay, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Everyone believes the story that this team of people went into the theater, whether it be at night or during the day, and because Cranium Command, the building juts out of Wonders of Life, because Wonders of Life is a dome, but really, if you were to go and walk around it, it's really most of the building space, the show buildings, are just boxes on the outside of the dome that you can't see. And so if you go through that back door, it's immediately right out of Cranium Command. All they would have to do is this. It's simple. You get 3 guys with a ladder and a wrench and the knowledge of how an animatronic works and the ability to unscrew it and the ability to get in and on the access road without being seen by any security cameras and probably the most secure place in Orlando.
And George Clooney and Brad Pitt were outside with the van.
With the van.
Keeping it running.
And yes, and so the van was kept running. They run in through the back door, go into the theater, unscrew it, slash the hydraulic lines. Hydraulic fluid goes anywhere. This was not part of the plan, but it happened. And they haul this 300-pound animatronic. There's no way to make that look sexy, by the way. It's not a diamond. It's not like a diamond necklace. You can't just like throw it into your like jacket pocket and run out the casino. It's just, they're like dragging this thing. People are saying, "Oh, there's scratches on the walls. That's from Buzzy," even though this thing's been closed for 11 years and people are going in and out, and it's definitely from Buzzy. They scratch the walls, also not part of the plan. Then they throw it into the van. They close it and it goes. And they say this happened sometime in November, and we're just now finding out about it.
Oh. Right? It's like wait, what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like every dramatic gopher did like one of those like. What? There's just like an army of them.
Yeah.
What?
And so everyone is going crazy. You know, they're photoshopping them on milk cartons. I'm making fun of the fact that
them on shirts.
Yeah, and sells them because you're a hypocrite.
Listen,
and
I just did it. I just thought it was so funny because people are really, people are hyper sensationalist. This thing. It was literally like someone had stolen the crown jewels from like ye old London. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
but this had to be harder.
Like it's just ridiculous. People like they were so surprised, and so I'm just like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever witnessed ever happen on the internet. Like,
okay, and so then within the first, okay, so this is then everybody starts taking sides, and there's like 6 sides, and none of them are really opposite of each other. They're just camps to be in. One
exactly it.
So the two opposing sides are he was stolen and he wasn't stolen. Then there's a third one that's like some of his clothes were stolen, but the whole thing was taken by the archives. So it's clear that he's gone. Some people think it's archives. Some people think it's this crack team of people. Some people think it's just his clothes were stolen and the archives took them. Then the other side is people that are like, this is Disney's fault. And then the other people that is me that
like this is Disney left this animatronic hanging on their wall in a private piece of property.
Yeah,
locked up behind bars and with security. How dare they let this be stolen in private property?
They're like, everyone's like, well, what did they? My favorite tweets, and this was a large amount of people saying, well, what did you expect to happen?
Yeah, what did you expect?
And my tweet was like, you know what they didn't expect? A team of heist people to break into the back door with a running van, unbolt a 300-pound animatronic, and throw it in there and drive off without anybody noticing. And so anyway, so this is all, everyone's getting in their camps. I'm in the camp of, I have no idea what's going on, but I can, whoever's saying this is Disney's fault, this is not Disney's fault. Dan is in the camp of, I need to figure out how to profit off of this. I'm making t-shirts immediately.
And it took me like 4 days to make those t-shirts.
And everyone is photoshopping things, and it's awesome. And then things start to not look too good. So Mickey Views, friend of the channel's, posts a video of Inside Wonders of Life, not a video, pictures of Inside Wonders of Life. He's definitely stolen, but he doesn't look like he was slashed. He looks like he was just unscrewed. And so everyone on the side of like he was stolen.
He posted pictures of Inside Wonders of Life inside the Cranium Command Theater, and
without Buzzy there.
Without Buzzy there. So like the big purple arm is there, but like the chair and the animatronic are missing. Also missing is the
hypothalamus.
Is hypothalamus, the little tiny robot that pops up and pops back down, looks like kind of like Johnny Five.
The only 2 things that were marked for preservation.
Only 2 things marked for preservation.
Now, was the hydraulic chair? Is it up in the air, like where he was like empty?
Yes.
So like they brought the hydraulic lift down, or they
so this is
or
when
they had to take a ladder to get up there and get.
This is when everyone started deciding to do research, and thank gosh I was busy doing something else, and I definitely am not going to get involved in. I'm not a news guy, You know, this will be my favorite story in 30 years. But but right now, I'm just kind of watching it happen and commenting on it. But people are like, here's where the button is to lower the chair. So they could have lowered the chair. They don't even need a ladder, and then they can unscrew it. And so anyway,
then they can press it to put the chair back up.
Yeah, exactly. Just to make it look like
nothing. Would do.
Yeah, nothing. Well, I mean, we got to put it back up there. We don't want them to think anything's gone.
Right.
And so, and
then there's a camp of people who think it's being done as a publicity stunt by Disney. They think that this is like all been orchestrated, and Disney's hiding evidence from the police. Like Disney,
and then there's others
Disney's
that think
framing people.
There's others that Dan's also getting ahead of the story, but okay, so this is day after we get the photos. There's no hydraulic spill in the photos, and
everything's clean as a whistle.
And the slashing looks very purposeful. So either these people really knew what they were doing, or it was the archives people.
Clean cut.
It was not a bunch of like crazy, like how I would cut. I would have come in there with my Scotch tape scissors and like trying to like
in a panicked rush. Try to get it out of there.
No, it was a very. I mean, Dan, these were professionals.
Well, this guy probably had a samurai sword. What am I thinking? This guy definitely had a samurai sword, and he like did a dramatic, like he like pulled it out and went whoosh, and then he like slid it back in like his back super slow, and it was like a super clean cut on those wires.
The only logical explanation.
In this very logical scenario, you can't make this up. I wrote a book about it, and I made it up. And like, it's funny because I went back into the book and there's literally Buzzies in the book as one of the things that is abandoned and that you can go see. I say like, don't go see it, but you can if you technically can. Like literally, don't physically, but you could. And now I have to go. I mean, I printed 2,000 copies. I don't know what I'm going to do.
There's theories of people who think that Kevin has orchestrated this entire thing.
Yeah,
like subliminal messages through his book.
For his added pages to the book, you have to buy these new pages to insert into the book that you've already previously bought. And take your Scotch tape and Scotch tape them over those pages, fuzzy pages.
And so this whole thing's going
I imagine that there's going to be a movie about this in like 30 years, and like some guy who like looks like Mark Ruffalo is going to like walk into the scene. He's like, "Hey, boss, we just found out that this guy who wrote a book about stealing animatronics from the park. Should we check him out?" And the FBI guy's like, "Nah, it doesn't. Our purpose isn't a reader, but it's gonna be like a throw."
No, Dan.
Our purpose isn't a reader. He's a samurai.
Yeah. Oh my. Yes, that's exactly what the lies.
No, Dan. What it's gonna be is in 30 years. It's gonna be one of those cold case documentaries where I get framed for the whole thing with lack of evidence just by the just by the documentarians' like need for a narrative.
Can we just make that right now?
because you know, on all those cold cases,
how to make an animatronic murderer or something.
On 90% of cold case shows, it goes like this: like 30 years ago, there was a murder, but these 3 documentarians found information the police didn't have, and they interview the police, and they're like, "Yeah, we know, but that's not who did it because we know this, and this." And they're like, "We got to cut that out of the documentary because that really hurts the narrative." And that's what's going to happen with me. They're going to be like, "You did it because of your book," and I'll be like, "I didn't do it because I have." That sounds like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Going into Wonders of Life and stealing a large animatronic for no reason at all, and they're like, "He did it," and then cut that part out.
And then your mic's still on when you go to the bathroom, and you're like,
"I did it. I got Buzzy."
You go to the bathroom, and your mic's on. You're like,
"Who's he talking to?"
Purge. Purge. We got so close.
Purge.
We came so close. We went so far. The Purge. They got us, Purge.
They got us, Buzzy.
They got us.
Anyway, so now it's the day after, and this happened on like December 20th, and everyone's like, "Christmas is canceled, Buzzy's missing." And yeah. So we're all trying to figure out what's going on. And so essentially most of this information, if you go back to where it came from, before everybody added their own opinions and thoughts, it came from Twitter account A, was arrested and was interrogated, and he claims that they informed him that Buzzy was missing. Twitter account B tweets this out, everyone goes crazy, then we get the evidence afterwards. But this all relies on Twitter account A and him saying that during the interrogation or during the whatever it was, investigation, during his search warrant, something, he was told by the police that Buzzy is missing and Disney is looking for him. That's what we know. Twitter account B is still a major proponent of this, and now all these other people that are claiming to have inside sources, and it's people like, you know, and I don't want to name names, but these people I talk to, and they do have inside sources. I can't say that they're correct or incorrect, and I'm not going to pretend like I know because I don't have any inside sources. But it's one of those.
My prevailing theory at the moment.
Well, yeah, we're going to get there at the end, Dan.
Okay. I'll hold it in.
Anyway, so all these people are saying like, oh, I know because I know these people inside, but also there's not a huge like uproar from cast members that we've seen. Like we do know a lot of cast members.
No one's talking about it. No one's talking about it really. No one's like, it's not a thing.
Well, and the theory is because Disney told them not to talk about it. And you know, when Disney says, hey, cast members don't talk about this, they don't, right, Nate?
Yeah, that's true.
They never do at all.
You never hear about anything secret Disney's planning or working on. None of that stuff ever gets out, especially when it's a decree sent to every cast member in secret.
And it's not like we know a bunch of people that work at Epcot that would be like telling anyways. So
it could have been one of those corporate-wide memos that they had back in the day when Pokemon Go first came out. Disney had to send out a full corporate-wide memo to say no cameras because they know that there's a camera on this Pokemon Go. Don't play Pokemon Go backstage, and like how guests were like sneaking backstage to catch like Jigglypuffs and stuff.
Well, there's a gym in River Country. We found that out.
Or your people, like we found out way too much information about that little boy who got eaten by that crocodile way too fast before it was released to before any police talked about it. We knew all the information about that thing way too quick. Cast members cannot keep a secret. No. They cannot keep a secret at all.
And so yeah, we
so know. I mean, like this isn't like something that Disney's talking about or like has been alerted. Like it's not a common topic.
Okay, but Twitter account B. And I don't want to make it sound like I don't like these people because I have no personal opinions. I follow them. I just want to know what they're saying. But they're tweeting out very cryptic things like, "Oh, you'll know more information in a week," or "We won't know information for a month." And they're saying this as if they know more information, and really they're just more confident than everyone else, and they're expecting a police report to be released. Yada, yada, yada. This thing kind of dies down after the Mickey Views video. Everyone's kind of on the side of like, okay, this might not have happened. And then other people are immediately on them like, no, it was completely stolen. It's gone. It's a crack team of George Clooney was involved. And like the whole, like John Stamos and Neil Patrick Harris and Josh Gad was the Ocean's 11 and all these people that Disney.
It was during the candlelight thing where everybody's at the American Pavilion.
And so anyways, I'll just skip to today. All these people are going crazy. Today, we get a police report released from August 1st to August 8th that say, this is the funniest police report I've ever read, by the way, and I don't read many police reports, so that's not a lot. It says essentially that Buzzy, the police report uses the word Buzzy, which so the police report on August 1st to August 8th, this is when the police report was filed. And it essentially it states like Buzzy's hat, his headphones, his microphone, I think his jacket, and maybe his glasses were stolen off of an animatronic at Wonders of Life. And that says that in August.
It was his hat, his jacket, and his rubber hands.
It was the best part. He
took his hands, those monsters.
The best part was it said his tiny rubber hands. No. The exact police report wordage, and I read this to Dan out loud over phone, and we both cracked up laughing because you do not expect how this phrase is going to end, but it's his custom-made rubber hands.
And the best part is Disney assigned a value. Disney assigned a value to each of them.
Yeah. So Disney's like the rubber hands are worth like 200 tops,
but 200 a piece.
No, the hat was $150. The jacket was $300, and then the tiny rubber hands were another $150.
Wasn't a real
leather intense.
Like a real leather bomber jacket that he was wearing?
Apparently, tiny jackets for tiny robotic children are very expensive.
And let's
who filed this police report?
Okay, well, that was another thing, is that it was a Walt Disney employee acting as Disney. So like it was someone in management. It was totally legit, but they had to put their home address.
Wait, this person said, "I am Walt Disney."
Yes, no, but they were a legit person filing. It was probably
this is Walt's frozen head here, and someone's stealing my crap.
And so, but essentially, this guy who's probably the poor accountant that was on duty that day
had to put his name and info on the
and so then everyone's like, oh, redact that. So that's why if anybody read my tweet and they're like, why is the tweet deleted? I'm like, well, because this poor accountant probably got it, or whoever, I don't know what position he was. So anyway, so that's what's stolen. So now I'm like, I tweet out like, oh, I guess the animatronic wasn't stolen, and all of this is because of the hats and the glasses. And the animatronic body is still there because duh, but apparently not, because all these people that are, reputable sources, I guess, are now not attacking me. They're just correcting me, and saying like, no, he was stolen. He was stolen.
People are like, we have sources that say it was stolen. And I'm like, what are these sources? They're like, they're super secret sources, and we can't say anything about them, but we got them.
Like, apparently Disney is confirming any news source that asks, which is not true.
Yeah, because if CNN called up Disney and say, yo, people be stealing electronic animatronic beings all up in there, and Disney was like, oh yeah, that's definitely happening.
Oh yeah all the time.
They wouldn't be like, breaking news, robots roam the earth. You know what I mean? Like this would happen. That someone built a robot that was like just like it had like laundry tube arms and like a dome glass head that was supposed to hitchhike across Pennsylvania, and it made it to Philadelphia, and it had the crap beaten out of it. And
I forgot all about that.
It had the crap beaten out of it, and Penn Jillette ended up picking it up, or Kevin Smith picked it up and drove it home. That thing happened and got worldwide attention. If someone was up in Disney, breaking into Disney and stealing robots, we would hear about it by now. So
well, Dan, it's because of the company. It's a huge cover up. So anyways, so immediately after this police report gets released, I expect everyone to be like, oh, okay, so he wasn't stolen. It was his glasses. And that guy that was in Wonders of Life around the time that was stolen, that was videotaping, probably stole them, or that's what the police thought. And so they asked him, and he said, no, I did not steal them. And they're like, okay. And that's it. And that happened on December 19th. But apparently that's not how it actually happened. So the story that makes the most sense, because also I should mention that the arrest record for a Twitter account A, who has been interrogated on December 19th, matches the case number matches that of the stolen clothes hat. There's not another one. There's not another arrest record. There's another.
They didn't go there questioning him about a missing animatronic. They went there to question him about some random missing pieces. Now, after he was questioned about those missing pieces, is now suddenly when the news spread by him that the whole animatronic was missing.
Now, not
a lot of us trust this person.
Did they arrest this guy on property? Did he get busted, or they just Twitter followed him and they found him?
You have to say who person A is. You have to, because yes, they got busted. They got busted buying cast member badges that were current, putting them on, walking through cast member only doors, and just start recording stuff. He got busted.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna name names. That's not what we're gonna do.
Right. But I mean, this kid was going, he had some vendetta against Disney. He wanted to be famous. He wanted to be known. And he was just sharing.
Well, we're not going to.
Well, okay. Anyway.
Dan.
So he got busted. He was suspect number one when the clothes went missing.
Which, fair, police, right? He provided you the video evidence that he was there. Now, does that mean he stole it? Absolutely not. You can't just assume that. Totally innocent until proven guilty. But he definitely, the police were right in interviewing him, if this is how the story goes. So the current theory that makes the most sense, we're now in two camps. We've narrowed it down. We're in two camps. The first camp is, okay, on August, and so between August 1st and August 9th, some clothes were stolen. They've been questioning around. And then around October and November and December, some person on a Twitter account started releasing all this video footage of them going through Wonders of Life. They go and question this person, and then he says, I don't have it. Case closed. This person goes starting to spread this. It rolls out of control. Everybody thinks the animatronic's stolen. Really just the clothes. And that matches up. All the evidence we have matches up with what I just said. I should say that. All evidence that is released matches up with that exact story. Now, here's the other theory, is that he was actually stolen, and this is all based on people that can't reveal their sources, but so many people have people on the inside telling them that he was really stolen, given that Dan and I also know cast members, and we do not have the higher up sources. Like, we know like people that like our show, or some people that we know personally, just coincidentally. Right. We've heard nothing from them, but we have but also, presumably, to be fair, these sources that are saying that they have more sources probably do than Dan and I, and also you, Nate. But we are also the first ones to break this to you, and you're hearing this live. So anyways, so the other theory, and so they're saying, well, the gloves have been missing. And the hat wasn't missing until October, so it didn't take place between August 1st and August 8th. Disney's like changing the story, or this is a false report, or blah 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 blah. Like, it's the police report is fabricated in some way, or it's falsified, or something's wrong, and he's actually stolen. Disney doesn't want us to know about it. Blah 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 blah. That's it for me. Nate, can you believe this?
I mean, I think the only truly logical explanation is that Buzzy has finally become sentient and decided to get up and leave.
This is actually prison. I forgot to mention, this is the 6th camp. You missed out on these memes. There are many photoshoppings of Buzzy doing things like around the world.
like Uncle Traveling Matt from the Fraggles. Yeah. He's like, Gobo, today I met strange aliens that threw rubber discs.
It's just too bad he can't take selfies.
They call them
monsters.
Frisbees.
He can't take selfies of them around the world, though, because those monsters stole his hands.
He's traveling handless.
He's literally, he's on the hunt for his clothes and his hands.
Here's what I think happened. This is my prevailing theory.
All right, is this camp number 7?
Early August,
this is Dan
someone
camp.
Stole the hat for nefarious purposes of selling it on the black market, and it was sold. And none other than John Stamos himself bought it.
None other.
And he like found out that it fit his tiny little head perfectly.
I'm pretty sure John Stamos has a.
Does he have a big head? I think he has lots of hair, but his head's tiny. All right.
Okay. Fair enough.
And so he's like, I must have more of this. And so he sent a team in to steal the jacket. And in October, the jacket was stolen. And John Stamos wore it. And he paid, like $20,000. And like, this was when he was starting to get into that like dude from Silence of the Lambs, who's still just like sewing pieces of people together. And John Stamos is like, he's like dancing to the Cranium Command theme song. And he's like, am I an animatronic? Oh, I'm an animatronic. And he's putting on lipstick. And so he's getting.
Is there a Cranium Command theme song?
There's not, and I don't like where this is going.
There definitely is. There definitely is. And then he's like, I need his tiny rubber hands, boys. I need his tiny.
I need to feel his tiny rubber hands upon my face.
Paid like $75,000 for these dudes to go in there and get John Stamos. Buzzy is from Cranium Command's tiny rubber hands.
Okay, here's my story.
He got it, and then he's like, and then finally his fetishization of Buzzy grew to such a point where he needed his whole body. And so he sent the SEAL Team 6 of animatronic thieves into Epcot. They reconnaissed this robot for him. And now John Stamos is like has it in a room tied up to like a post. And it's his favorite thing in the entire world.
So
I'll buy it.
Here's my theory. I'm going to be the Kennedy Mafia theory. In that it's like an Orlando kind of. So you're
saying there's a second gunman on the grassy knoll. There's a second gunman.
Yeah, there's a second gunman.
In Body Wars.
He's in Body Wars. That's where Buzzy is. He's in the body.
Did anybody look in Body Wars? Did anybody?
that's the funny thing is they're checking the security camera footage. They're like, where is Buzzy? And they're like, and so this is my Ocean's 11 theory, because in Ocean's 11, every Ocean's movie and every heist movie, there's that one point where you think the heist went awry and you get caught, but then it's revealed that they actually had a plan around that all along.
And there's like a drum snare and there's like a drum solo in the music, like,
yeah.
And then like everything starts to flip and it's like, and like the Chinese guy climbs out of a tiny metal suitcase. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that. And so,
well, I've got my new ringtone, guys. Thanks.
Kevin and I committed to that bit so hard.
It went places. It's all about commitment.
So it's in the Ocean's 11 theory, it's literally just these people that have a vendetta against Disney, the same way that Danny Ocean and his friends had a vendetta against the Bellagio, and they went in to steal it from Disney, and they planned the whole thing out. They had little miniatures, and they have the security camera footage of them leaving with a big package. And that night, this all happened in one night, by the way. Like, we don't know this, but this happened in one night.
Of course.
They all like run out, and like the security camera footage is like, oh my gosh, it's this big white sheet, and these 4 guys are like lugging it, and they throw it in the van, and the van closes, and they speed off. And then that night, the cops come up to their house, and the cops knock on the door, and they're like, open the van. And they open the van. They've been following the whole way. There's no way that there's been a switch. They've watched the van, and they open the van, and they see that big white sheet, and they open it up, and it's just cast member laundry from the utilidors. It's just a bunch of cast member laundry, and they're like, what? And then all of a sudden,
and everyone's the windows are down and their hair is flowing like crazy as they're driving into the Everglades. And
no, Dan, please don't take over my film. That's not what happens. You're not a writer.
This is totally what happens, guys. All right, I'm wearing sunglasses.
So please don't. Please, I literally was just ramping up.
Ramping up. He's writing this fake narrative. I was just ramping up, Dan.
So I'm gonna go back some. I'm gonna
take it back.
So they open up the van, and it's also like that scene in Shawshank where he rips off the poster, and they see they lift up the laundry, and they find out that it's laundry, and then you cut to the heist. You see the heist again, but you see it from a different angle, and this time you see the other 2 people, and you didn't think about it at the time, like, I wonder where they were during the heist, but really they were lugging that animatronic to the Body Wars hangar bay, and then the moment they saw the police follow, the police split out following the van, and they're like, let's go. And then they run it out to a second van, and then they take off to a second location. And then the movie ends with them getting released from custody, and they all meet up in I don't know, someplace in Orlando. And then celebration.
They meet up by the Eye. The Orlando Eye.
They meet up by the Eye.
No, the more appropriate thing for them to meet at the
Fun Spot America. They meet up at Fun Spot America.
They meet at the lighthouse at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, and they're all like leaning against those red rocks, just staring at the light.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, one guy still weighs 300 pounds, but just for the cinematic quality, he's carrying it over his shoulder, and he throws it on the ground, and there's Buzzy, and they all look at each other, and then and then credits. That's my Ocean's 11 theory. My other theory is like the mafia kind of mob gang theory, where like this guy had a severe debt. It's like kind of Breaking Bad, where he like, I gotta get the money, and so he's like, but he got into some debt, and it was like this whole thing, and the mob boss is like, you're gonna bring me his glasses, and he's like, I can't do that.
I need you to get me a Buzzy.
Yes, thank you.
The only thing that's gonna make this debt go away is if you bring me the hands of animatronic.
He's like, I don't know if I can do that, and he does it. He brings him the hands, and then he's like, and then he says, and I'll let you say,
not enough. I need more than just the hands. I need more than this hat. I need more than this jacket. I need you to bring me the entire body of Buzzy.
And that's when. This is also the plot to Ocean's 12. I now understand, but this is they now break in. They steal the animatronic, but they do it with a team of people. But really, they have a buyer already set up, and they're going to circumvent the guy they owe, and they're going to give him a fake Buzzy. He's not the real Buzzy.
Did they make the fake Buzzy?
Yeah, out of like butter or something.
Joe Rohde, he's been in on it this entire time.
Joe Rohde.
Joe Rohde, and the reason why the Yeti doesn't work is because he salvaged pieces from it to build a makeshift Buzzy.
A fake Buzzy.
So
oh,
Daniel Becker.
That's the best M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. It's like, what a twist!
That's a Shyamalan plot twist.
It's a Shyamalan twist.
It's almost Shyamalan in his
Shyamalan twist.
Kevin just told me he hasn't seen. Kevin has told me he hasn't seen Signs or Unbreakable.
Oh dear.
I've seen The Sixth Sense, and I've seen The Visit, and I've seen
the birthday party scene. Remember the birthday party scene in Signs?
Yes.
Please don't.
You know what I'm talking about?
Me.
Yes.
Well, like where they're at the birthday party, and then the camera pans, and then you see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That still makes
scary.
like my parts twitch. Like I'm still like, ooh.
The scariest. Just thinking about it makes you go, ooh.
Ooh, that gives me the tangles and the tangles.
It tingles your tangles.
Put that on a shirt, Dan.
There you go. It tingles my tangles.
Tangles.
I can't wait until we find out that like the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster is going to be because it's all about how Peter Quill visited Epcot as a kid and that dumb storyline they tried to pass off as an excuse for destroying one of the most brilliant parks ever created.
Mm-hmm.
And so
they like just harvested Buzzy. They put Buzzy in that new ride.
Yeah, they put him in the new ride. They literally just like, and then they just checked Twitter today and they're like, what the hell?
Yeah, like, what has happened?
Like they literally, it was just like
on Christmas break, and all of a sudden, Ocean's 11 Buzzy style happened.
Oh my goodness! Wait, are you serious? Wait, Kevin, time out.
What?
Let's dial it back for a second. They are going to feature Peter Quill as a child in the '80s going to Epcot.
That was the whole thing, and so this is a prevailing theory of the ride is that there's going to be a lot of retro Epcot references in the ride itself.
That's where he is. That is 100% where that thing is. It's going to be in this new ride. I had no idea that's what was going on.
Well, no, but this is just a theory of what the ride is going to be because
it's going to be in the pre-show. It's a pre-show element. They're probably using it for filming
because I know for a fact that they released that in somewhere in Galaxy's Edge in one of the rides. They're reusing I can't remember the robot's name. The original driver of
Rex,
the original driver of the Star Tours, is going to be featured prominently in some aspect of Galaxy's Edge.
I'm going to put my sunglasses back on so I can dramatically remove them at another platform. But that's where he is. That's where he is.
And they got he weighs 300 pounds. 100 pounds of those are his hands. They had to take him in pieces.
Oh my God! What if it turns out that he wasn't stolen from Wonders of Life? What if he was stolen from a secondary location where they moved him for filming, and he was stolen from there?
We need to get a sound effect for your
what
glasses removal.
You know what I mean? A secondary location, like John Mulaney says. Never trust a secondary location.
or here's my theory. Okay. Is that the Walt Disney Company is terrible at communicating with other divisions of the Walt Disney Company. And
what?
Yes. And
how dare you? How dare you, sir?
And some park technician was threatened to be fired if they didn't get an animatronic and like the carousel progress working by the end of the day. So he ran over with a bunch of his technician friends, uprooted Buzzy, and he's now sitting beneath the Haunted Mansion with every other defunct animatronic.
It's very possible.
What if the Rover from the 40s is actually just an old Buzzy carcass covered in fur now?
but it's like a half tried job, and so it's you could tell it's Buzzy.
Yeah, like the ship in Tomorrowland from
or like the Tiggers in your Tigger video.
Yes.
By the way, before we end this live stream, I got to talk about all the factual inaccuracies in the Disney Dan videos I've been watching.
Oh.
I put on your content and let it autoplay today, Dan.
Did you?
Yeah, I was just
It's
missing
the first
my
time you've
band.
watched all my videos, huh?
Yeah.
How was that terrible experience for you?
No, it wasn't terrible. I really enjoyed them. I actually learned a lot, and I was actually really surprised. I really loved the content.
What you are being so mean to me right now, but I can't tell how
No.
mean it is. I feel so hurt right now by everything you're saying to me. It's a deep hurt. It's a deep, dark hurt. You hurt me real deep, Purge. Hurt me real deep.
I actually really loved it. Okay.
Wait for it.
I don't know if I believe anything you're saying.
I like the whole ice skating thing. I was like, wow. But the
what ice skating thing? What do you mean the whole ice skating thing?
Like the Walt Disney let his properties be used for ice skating a few years before Disneyland.
It was his way to get the characters across the country, and then last minute he realized he didn't have costumes, and so he stole all them back.
That's a great story. But in the Seven Dwarfs video, you kind of forgot that there was a second version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the ride, or the Snow White Scary Adventures.
Right, I know. I had to, at certain points you just have to gloss over stuff to get stuff in under 20 minutes. So
I don't. I just make
sometimes
my
I fail.
35.
Sometimes I fail at that, like at Peter Pan. Or the other day, for those of you who don't know, Nate is an audio editor for Kevin and I, and we essentially read our scripts or sometimes just improv, and then send him the audio, and we're like, "Here, make this something that works good."
Here, fix this.
If anyone would like to hire the Begle,
if your audio is terrible,
and you want an estimate on how to make it better,
go to natebeagle.com.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, that's all I have. Nate, I really just wanted to tell you because you're in a coma.
Yeah, that is a fascinating story. And I'm actually kind of, I'm
distinct. Did you ever do Cranium Command, Nate?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I loved Body Wars and Cranium. I loved that whole world, the Wonders Pavilion.
So I have a very distinct memory of probably right before they closed it. We were in there and the place was empty. It was deserted. I was in middle school. Yeah. There was nobody there. And I was I wanted to explore different parts of the park we hadn't been to before, and we had never been in this area before. So I really wanted to check it out. And so we're checking it out. We as a family go and sit into that one building that tells you how babies are made, which is a real awkward video to watch with your parents at Epcot on your Disney vacation. There's a guy sitting on the roof of his parents' house, and they're in bed rolling around. He's like, "We're just going to leave them alone. We're just going to leave mom and dad alone down there." You're like, what is happening? That happened at Disney World.
Sometimes two Spider-Mans fight, but they're not hurting each other.
Yeah.
From 30 Rock.
Cranium Command had every cast member of SNL in the late 80s.
Oh, and if by every cast member you just mean just Martin Short, who was never a cast member, I guess. Or was it?
No, Hans and Franz were in it.
Oh yeah.
SNL characters were in it. The muscles were Hans and Franz. And the stomach was the guy
Norm,
from Cheers.
wasn't it? Yeah. Wasn't it George Wendt?
Yeah, it was George Wendt.
Bobcat Goldthwait was
Bobcat Goldthwait,
anxiety
or the John
nerves.
Lovitz.
John Lovitz. Who was John Lovitz?
It stinks.
What part was he?
Thank you.
I don't remember. I have to look up what each of the parts were.
Well, everybody knows the classic Disney attraction Cranium Command by heart, Nate. You can't be a...
So listen. So we're there and we do Body Wars, and it's like a splinter, and you're like, and then
was it always a splinter?
Yes.
Yes, it was always a splinter.
Told me that was it's not always a splinter. Sometimes it's another piece.
So I see this.
Maybe there is a B video. I missed it.
I seen a sign for Cranium Command, and I remember looking at one of my Disney Adventure Go magazines, a picture of the Buzzy animatronic, and I'm like, oh, I never saw that work, so I really want to go in there and see it. And I'm saying to my family, come on, let's go do it. And everyone's like, no, forget that. This is so dumb in here. It's so dumb. We just watched some Disney like a horribly graphic video about making babies. We need to get out of here. And I'm like, come on, let's do it. So we go in there and we do it, and it's Cranium Command. And afterwards we're leaving. And my mom's like, are you happy with your decision to have sat through this? She was so disappointed. She was so disappointed. Oh.
That's amazing.
So you remember watching it, Nate?
That's a good story. Yeah, I do. That's why I was trying to remember. I remember, yeah, as a kid, I thought it was fun. But then
because it's not just the Cranium Command. There's a theater pre-show that gives you a cartoon history of
right. It's like a cartoon drill sergeant. Drill sergeant's like giving you the whole play-by-play of what you're gonna do. Right? Is that what happened?
Right.
Pretty sure it was an animated drill sergeant who was voiced by somebody.
Kevin Nealon was in it too.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. As wait, is John Lovitz in the Hans and Franz?
No, Hans and Franz was Kevin Nealon and Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey. Right.
John Lovitz was maybe John Lovitz was like imagination. I for some reason I'm picturing John Lovitz like in the clouds, like maybe he was dreams or imagination.
And did you know that Pete Docter made Cranium Command, and that was the inspiration for Inside Out?
Is that what it is, Pete? That's awesome. I did not know that. That's
where Inside Out came from. Was Cranium Command? Isn't that crazy?
Well, it also came from a bunch of other things.
I'm gonna put my glasses back on. Don't correct me.
Pete Docter is a great filmmaker and a very talented man, but he did not invent the idea of people in your head controlling your body.
He certainly did.
No, Herman's Head.
Herman's Head, yes. The terrible show. Wasn't there a big guy that was like, I'm his lust or something?
Hey, Nate.
Yeah. I remember when Inside Out came out, that's what everybody was talking about. Yes, Dan.
How does the microphone sound without the thing on it?
I mean, right now it sounds fine.
Probably because we're on a very terrible.
Yeah, the audio, the mic itself is not picking up everything when you're
Osmosis Jones. All right, I get it.
It's another
that movie has a very graphic scene of Bill Murray deep throating a hard-boiled egg, and it's a dirty hard-boiled egg, and it's really hard to watch.
All right, hold on. Here we go. Just because I had to think about it, it was driving me crazy. The appearances on the video screens were the left brain was Charles Grodin, the wacky right brain was John Lovitz, the hungry stomach was George Wendt, the panicky bladder, who is also referred to as Elimination, was Jeff Doucette in an uncredited role. The adrenal gland was Bobcat Goldthwait, who was prone to overreacting, and then the heart, the right and left ventricles, were Dana Carvey and Kevin Nealon as Hans and Franz. And then the monotone hypothalamus was voiced by Kirk Wise, which regulated autonomy.
That reminds me of the silly tweet I made earlier, where it's Buzzy's going to be reused in the Guardians coaster. They're because of Guardians 3 being postponed, they're going to rebrand the entire coaster into a Cranium Command coaster. and Buzzy will be voiced by Bill Hader.
Done. The silliest thing that I remember from Cranium Command right now is that when the kid is freaking out and he hasn't eaten anything, and so he eats a burger, and then it cuts to George Wendt in the stomach, and literally a giant foam full burger just pops down into the thing, and he just goes, "Yay!" But it's bit into a burger, but yet a full foam, just unbitten fake burger just floats down into the stomach acid that George Wendt is standing in, and he just gets very excited.
That's ridiculous.
That image flashed in my head.
All right.
I will say, I don't understand the purpose of having so many guest stars that you can't even bill them. Literally just what, I mean, they had to have just been...
How much were they paid to do those dumb things in this dumb little video for a theme park?
Some one-time...
a nice paycheck.
They had to have been just in the same... They had to be in the same location coincidentally. because like, what is the purpose of having all these stars? Is it truly just for the entertainment value of those in the theater? Because like the whole idea of having stars in anything is to get people to go to it, but you can only bill so many people to be in a theme park attraction.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know what it
really
might be, though?
curious.
It might be that, like, it's like, oh, okay, there's the two heart muscles and they're pumping, and I'm not going to pay attention to this scene at all, and I'm not going to follow the storyline because they're just two random faces doing dumb things, and I don't care. If we make them celebrities, at least
We
people be
do
like,
the
hey, I know
pump
those
you
guys.
up, guys.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey, I know those guys. Oh, yeah, they're the heart guys. They're making the heart work. That's the heart. Oh, yeah, we're going to make that one fat guy we know who likes to drink a lot be the stomach. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or here's another theory. MetLife has like their own advertising contracts with these people, and they were just like, hey, guess what? You know that favor you owe us? Come on down to the studio because we're sponsoring this thing at Disney World, and you need to
You
be
think
here.
MetLife did it?
I mean, it's possible.
That's not a bad theory, actually. That's
I mean,
not
like,
a bad theory. Let's get Rob in on this to do some research. Do some hard research.
yeah, let's get the research guy. Well, Dan, is this the end of the live stream? I think we've blown Nate's mind one too many times tonight.
I'm pretty blown, but so bottom line is, Buzzy is gone. Was that he's?
Yeah,
he
I mean,
is-
right after this, go look up the pictures.
I'm gonna look up the pictures.
'Cause-
He's gone, and the only explanation.
Gone but
only
not
explanation-
forgotten. Gone but not forgotten.
Nate's never gonna do one of these
Buzzy,
again.
Buzzy.
No, you have to sing. Dan, you're trying. It's like, where are you, Buzz?
Oh, yeah. Where are you, Buzzy? Why can't I find you?
There it is.
Why have you gone away?
love
The
the,
outside world is changing. They're rearranging Ellen's Entertainment Adventure.
We'll see you soon in Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only explanation, he's probably in Guardians of the Galaxy getting a nice little
Guys,
touch up.
That's 100% what's happening. All right. Yeah. Why this is even a question? It's going to be Peter Quill. They're going to do some dumb Wonders of Light thing because it's so retro and like so 80s.
Retro.
And it's going to be like it's going to be like Star-Lord being like,
in the 80s.
That's how babies are made. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. It's going to be so cheesy and dumb. They're probably going to take that kid and digitally alter Chris Pratt's face onto that kid to make it look like
Dan's
Dan's
comedic energy is a bit misplaced tonight, but I think that his excitement is real.
My comedic energy is on point,
and his heart is in the right place.
But I will say that I think
Kevin, you're really hurting my feelings tonight. First you told me that you watched all my videos and they're awful and none of them are true. And then you told me that I'm not funny and I'm slightly overweight. And then you told me that then you told me that you don't think my children are beautiful. I don't know who you are. We're supposed to be together, you know, like Simon and Garfunkel, man.
Okay, Dan, if I was a late night host and you were the side commentator that was supposed to help me out and make jokes, after this performance, I would go up to you and say, hey, next show, don't do that as much.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're this guy who's supposed to commentate and make funny jokes to my stories, man.
All right, let's at least pretend we're all sober. Anyways,
you leave me and my mango Ritas out of this, all right? I told you I've got like the flu or something. It's really messing with my head. I'm super duper tired.
Well, we're gonna get you out of here, but I will say the problem with whatever camp you're in on this, and it doesn't matter because it's stupid, but it's also awesome because we talk about this. But in reality, the saddest part is going to be if that animatronic resurfaces in Disney parks, whether it be a D23, whether it just be them like literally just throwing it out on stage, whether it's in another ride, whether they reskin it. There will be people that will still say that's the one that they just made. The real one was stolen, and that's going to be the most frustrating thing. But if we know that's what's going to happen, it'll be
that's a really good point, dude. That's really smart.
Maybe
people are going to be like that,
even if
stupid.
Even if it was stolen, like let's just even in the theory that it was not stolen. People will still say that it was stolen. People will say, "Oh, that's a new animatronic. That's just they built that just to cover up," and that's going to be frustrating. We'll never know the truth probably, but if we do, that's awesome because I guess the only truth that we will ever find out for sure is if it were stolen, because the side of people that are like, it might not have been stolen are literally just skeptics that are like, okay, maybe what's going on? We don't have any evidence. The other side is so far, it was stolen. Don't say anything else to us about it. Like, we'll never probably admit that they were wrong or that, like, so this was going to be an interesting development, but I'm just glad that we got to break the news to our good buddy Nate.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad that I did not find out about this in any other fashion.
Yes. Dan, do you want to sign us off?
I don't know, Kevin. Do I want to sign us off?
Dan, you have to because you have the button.
Oh, I do have the button, and that's right, because I'm the man. I'm the boss. It's business time, and I'm a businessman. All right. So
Here's a real question. If Buzzy was legit Ocean's 11 heisted and was put on the black market, how much do you think he'd go for?
How much money does John Stamos have is the real question.
That's right. You said 75 grand? 75 grand? 75 grand he paid the guys.
Dude,
but
75 grand was for the tiny ripper hands. All right. Full animatronic body, full animatronic Buzzy body, naked to the world except for his rubber face and chest. We're talking like $350,000.
6 figures?
That's my estimate. That's my Antique Roadshow estimate. We're in the range of $280,000 to $350,000. Now you can like sparkle that across the lower third of my screen and put a little barrel on the side of it and do that tinkle sound.
The thing I don't like to think about is what terrible things are they programming the animatronic to do right now?
It's gonna sound like Brad, not Brad. Who's that guy who does the raccoon?
Bradley
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. It's gonna sound like Bradley Cooper.
Bradley, was I that close?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see Buzzy.
I had no idea it was gonna be like Peter Quill and his dying mom at Epcot.
Well, for the third time, I told you that was just a theory by fans.
Oh, that's not confirmed?
Oh my gosh, Dan, please hang up the live stream.
This blows the case wide open. This blows the case.